Welcome back to the Garden Report Part 2. I'm joined by Metro Boston's Jimmy Toscano and the Ringers' Kevin O'Connor. I am Jared Weiss of CLNS Radio and Celtics Blog, and we are powered by Blue Apron. So now that you know who we are, we can talk about who the Celtics were tonight, which is a team that could not get in the paint. They basically, the Raptors put up a brick wall, which Brad Stevens talked about, how they just could not get through their perimeter defense. They actually hit a tying for a franchise record 17 threes, which is great, but they also didn't really take any shots inside of the three-point line, Jimmy.
No, I mean, they took 43 three-pointers tonight. They took more three-pointers than two-pointers tonight, which is banana land. So
Stat of the
that
night.
sounds like modern basketball to me.
Yeah, I know. Yes, they hit 17, but the fact that they had to take so many, I mean, you're not going to generate points in the paint. You're not going to get to the line. You're not going to stop the clock. Maybe if you're down, you're trying to get some points going there. And without Isaiah Thomas, honestly, you're going to see them not get to the line as much because he's pretty much the only guy on the team that consistently gets to the line. He does it a lot, but unfortunately, not enough players do it as often as he does.
And you're right, Jared. It does sound like modern basketball with all the three-pointers, but a lot of modern teams also are getting to the basket. It's threes and layups.
They don't have a dominant big man either.
Yeah, and the Celtics didn't get any layups tonight, it seemed like. It seemed like they – how many free throws did they have tonight? Less than 10, fewer than 10, I'm pretty sure.
22.
27, actually. It was a lot closer than I would think.
It didn't seem like they got to the line.
But the points in the paint, what was the points in the paint? It was 38 to 22 for the Raptors.
Yeah. Yep, exactly.
And Valanciunas didn't even really score tonight. It's really Lowry, DeRozan, and Powell getting to the lane. And the Celtics have always had that issue. Even when Rudy Gay was here, or in Toronto, he was always able to get to the basket. Toronto has always done a good job at getting kind of angled drives that the Celtics defense, as good as they are moving on the perimeter, the Raptors are always able to kind of find ways to attack them at weird angles to get through their first layer. Used to be that they had Solinger back there, so they never really could get stops. But even with Horford and Amir and Kelly back there tonight, they still couldn't get a lot of stops.
Yeah, and look, I mean, I know with Isaiah Thomas, a lot of people have been talking lately, like, oh, they're better without Isaiah because their defense is better.
Well,
it's
wrong.
True
That's only people that don't know anything about basketball that are saying that on TV.
Sure. It's true that their defense is better,
Sure.
but what they lose on the offensive end doesn't make up for that. And we saw even without him, they can have nights where they don't get stops against the best teams in the Eastern Conference or in the West, for that matter.
I think there was a little trying to get back into the game with one shot tonight, or a little hero ball. I think that, they weren't aggressive. And Toronto, they scored a ton of points, and one of their best scorers, DeMar DeRozan, is not a three-point shooter. I mean, he's getting his points at the line. He's slashing. We know Lowry can score from all over. He was 4 for 8 from threes tonight, but he can score from, he can drive to the hoop just as good as anybody else can. So the Celtics do need to find ways to score other than just hoisting up prayers.
Or just relying on the refs to make calls for them at the end of the game. And we saw tonight a really interesting situation where Al Horford was called for a foul for airspace on Kyle Lowry, which we don't see those calls very often, especially in crunch time. But even though he blocked Kyle Lowry's three with 30 seconds left, he landed in his airspace. And we caught Al Horford walking out of the locker room, and I quickly asked him, what did the ref say on that play? And his response was great. He said, I don't know. I was so pissed off I couldn't even hear what he was saying. So, at least Al Horford is taking it seriously.
Yeah, little fire from Al Horford tonight, which is good to see. But I'm not blaming the rest of this game because I think they missed like 2 goaltends that the Celtics committed that went for blocks. The Celtics are losing games to good teams. This is not just a one-time thing. They lost to the Raptors. They lost to the Cavs. They lost to the Warriors. They lost to the Spurs. Quick, what's their defining win this season? Quick. There isn't one. There isn't one. Exactly. So it's becoming, we're 26 games into the season, and they really don't have anything to hang their hats on.
Actually, I'd probably say that Orlando win on Wednesday was their defining win just because they lost
which
Isaiah,
says a lot about the season.
So they can step up their game when they need to kick an opponent's ass, but they haven't won those really crucial contests that make the difference at the end of the season.
Shout out to Adam Himmelsbach for the tweet.
All right, well, we're going to end the show on a shout-out to Adam. So, for Kevin, for Jimmy, I'm Jared, for Jeremy behind the camera. We will see you after next Friday's game against Charlotte, and then we got Christmas
Another
time
big
coming
game.
up. I'll be in New York on Christmas, so I'll do a little garden reporting from there.
Wow.
I'll be solo, so I might just kind of selfie myself on Facebook. We'll see. But, yeah, we will see you next time on the Garden Report Celtics postgame show, powered by Blue Apron.